So kicked off, right? 3.5 years ago. You've got BD experience. You've got relationships. Like, was that it? Is that it? That's all you need? A phone and a handshake, and you're ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there are a lot of things that I had to, there's a lot of things that, I've got to say that pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of things I had to learn. I mean, for example, I remember setting up the business and we had to wait for so long for example, I couldn't trade because we did know that you had to get your bank, your business bank ready as well before certain things. I mean, so like it was like you need like a VAT. Basically, because we didn't have that knowledge whatsoever. Yeah, but I've got to say though, but after a few months, there is an amazing organization called Adventure in Wakefield, which is part of the council, and I was, I got hooked up by one of my friends, and there was a guy there called Keith Evans, who was my mentor pretty much. But when I say mentor, I pretty much went to him and I say, yeah, dude, this is what I'm doing. He was like, okay, cool, yeah, that's fine. And then that was it. But it was nice. It was nice to get that reassurance, reassurance from someone who's obviously, he's running businesses and he's, he knows what he's doing. So that, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I've always just kept it simple. It was just sort of like, this is what I want to do. And, that was it really. But yeah, there's nothing else I can say, mate. That is pretty much.
I love it. But honestly, like you stormed past like lessons. It like literally, I'm talking 24 plus months took me to learn when I'm then looking back at the business plan and being like 8 weeks. Yeah. 8 weeks. And like you say, it's war and peace, that thing. Like you're filling out everything. And most of the answers are like, how much are you going to turn over? And I'm like, son.
Because I think it also depends on what you want to do with the business. I mean, for me, it was it was my business. I've never really thought about selling it or try and go to someone and say, yo, guess what my business is worth. For me, it was just like pay my bills, don't listen to other people and just be happy and just do my own thing. I don't want to be a millionaire. I've got no dream of like having lavish lifestyle or whatever. I'm just a normal guy. I just want to live my life and just be happy. As simple as that, really. I've not really got, and obviously I'm ambitious. Obviously, at the end of the day, I always say this, but at the end of the day, is my, my plan B is always been to make plan A work. So I will do whatever I can to make sure plan A works. It doesn't mean that I'm so relaxed that I don't do any work. I put effort. Do you know what I mean? I put so much work into the business. Do you know what I mean? But it is all fun, it's the process, and I'm loving it. So I get to learn a lot of things as well. So yeah,
I've loved the learning. Recently I just I was a guitarist for years and years and years, and we still say that the band is together, and we're just writing at the moment. But it's been 5-6 years since we played anything together. But whatever. Very recently I picked up the guitar again and was like, you know what? I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can still play, and B, I'm going to learn that song. Right, that song, which is just super, super difficult, and I always used to listen to and be like, "Wow, I'll never play that." Yeah. And the thing that really amazed me is after 5 years of like, because that's the thing I've done most as being a leader or whatever you want to call it, right? Being in charge is learn to learn. Like I realized I didn't know all this stuff, and there was just mountains, and there's still mountains and stuff I don't know. But like I've learned to learn, and I've learned that ways I like to learn.
Yeah.
And like one of the first big shows of that literally is like 4 or 5 weeks ago when I went to learn this song and learned it learned it really quickly and was able to pick it up. And like, something in the back of my head, little muscle at the back of my head has now been stretched and worked so much that I can add something into that funnel and implement it, which is definitely not where I was before starting this because I was just kind of doing, staying in my lane, just kind of doing those bits essentially.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something quite important there about learning, because like different people learn different ways. Do you know what I mean? You could sit someone down in a class or whatever it is and try and teach them something and they'll never get it. Do you know what I mean? Same here. Like I don't want to label myself with anything, but I'm pretty sure like I'm dyslexic. I'm everything else. Like, do you know what I mean? But I don't want to label myself, but I'm pretty, you know what I mean? But the one thing is I know when I want to learn something, I will literally go out there and just find every way, just make sure I am fucking awesome at that. I am so competitive. It's ridiculous. I will make sure if I've also got a really, really bad habit. I've got a really bad addictive personality that if I like something, I just go like 300 miles an hour. Do you know what I mean? And I'll make sure that I am the best at doing that, you know, better than you, and you. Do you know what I mean? So I make sure I always do that. So
yeah, I got a terrible habit of one of the things when we started the company. Like I say, I was about five stone heavier, and kind of just took a little stock of myself and said, like, you know, does this look like success? And then sort of asked myself, and not like, you know, success has to be flying in jets or whatever, but it's just like, you know, if you're at the top and you're kind of wheezing around, and my knee was blowing out every 3 or 4 months because of the sheer weight that I'm carrying around, all this kind of thing, right? I just sort of took stock of it and was like, you know, does this look like success? Does that look like success? And one of the things that for me, like, success looked like with people who are open to learn and willing to say that they're wrong. So I've really spent time to learn how to do it. But also one of those things that I kind of set as a marker was I want to be known that if I say I'm going to do something, that I do it. Right. So I kind of implemented that. I stopped saying like I was going to do stuff, which was like, yeah, you know, oh, maybe we'll make this, man. Maybe. Kind of stopped saying maybe about stuff and either being like, I'm doing it or I'm not. Which is a real pain in the ass because I said I was going to lose weight. And then, you know, 4 years later, I'm still killing myself to try and get that done.
You're doing it though.
Yeah. Because I'm too stubborn not to, right? I said I was going to do it. So I actually now have to be quite careful on things that I say I'm going to do, because otherwise I'll you know, I'll drop other stuff.
I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah, exactly, right. And then that's it.
And that's it. You got
next 20 years. I'm trying to learn.
I know, walking around with a helmet or something. Do you know what I mean?
Fishbowl on me. Yeah. Call me an astronaut. Call me Buzz.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. Fucking dickhead.
This is it. It's the space kid there. He's back again. So those 10 points, man, like, what I love about it is you didn't do a business point. What you did was set out purpose. And the sexiest thing on that list for me is that clients and partners are fifth. They are fifth down the list. I know a million people who have set up businesses, and the first thing is it's like, you know, growth, or it's scale, or it's clients first. And sort of, you know, 10th, 12th, 15th, 20th on that list is things like, you know, family and inconsequential stuff like happiness and enjoyment and fun. I love it. You've basically set out like, this is what I want to work in a place like this.
Yeah. The thing is, right, because the other thing is one man can't do everything, first of all. Like, obviously, I run an IT company. You know, I know enough about IT, but I've got guys that make me look good. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've also posted somewhere, which is true, I've never lost a client because I make sure when we do a job, you know, it's done well. And clients are always happy, and we make sure they're number one. And when you make sure that your partners are happy and you're working, you know, as a team, sort of like an extension to your company kind of thing, that's very, very important. They're just as important as your clients are. Do you know what I mean? And you know, and together it's just a lovely little marriage. You know what
especially when you're sat in the channel, and you know, for those out there who don't work in the IT channel, like, it's all a big up and down, lefty righty. No one really sells anything to anyone except the resellers. But you literally have to keep kind of like 3 levels happy in one way, plus the clients. It's almost like being a recruit. It's almost like being a recruitment agent. You got to keep the client and the candidate happy. Like, it
is. Yeah, because you know, because you're always going to need them. You know, you're always going to need your partners. You know, you're always going to say, right, you know what, I'm going to call Jay because, you know, Jay was awesome. I don't know, cabling or whatever it is. You know, I want him to do the job. And he'll be like, yeah, he's going to put everything down because, and even that, he will just go that extra mile because he knows, you know, he's dealing with Vic. Do you know what I mean? Rather than John, who's a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? He walks around with his Rolex and his brown shoes. Do you know what I mean? With a shitty haircut. Do you know what I mean? So,
fucking brown shoes in IT.
I know, brown shoes and blue suit.
This is it. One of the first things we implemented. Now, hands up, this was not me because I was still fully indoctrinated into the IT styles. Right, the first things we implemented was a strict jogging bottom policy. Right, you don't wear jeans here. You don't wear slacks. You certainly don't wear a suit. You wear whatever you're comfortable in. And it's so weird for me because literally this was the office I was coming in, dressed looking good, like ready for work and stuff, like ready for work. What I found was amazing is when everyone's sitting in loungewear, work doesn't change. That is just a perception, which is probably from like 76 that is still rocking today. And everyone's got, and I remember like, I used to work at sell to sort of the telco side of things. In loads of meetings, you know, I'd rocked out without a tie. I wasn't wearing most of the suit. Like I was wearing just enough of it to get through. And slowly but surely, like more and more people were like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I can, you know, I can get a little air, groovy, you know, and then everyone would kind of calm down and the meeting would get a lot easier.